Rodman Naval Station. License was granted on May 19th, 1932 to the Navy Department for construction of the first West Bank Naval Facilities U.S. Naval Station, Rodman. Construction on the piers and other facilities was completed around 1937. Rodman U.S. Naval Reservation encompassed at one time or another several naval holdings on the west bank of the Panama Canal, and that would be on the Pacific side, including an Ordinance Department, the Naval Station itself, the Marine Barracks, the Lacona housing area, Camp Rousseau, and the Cocally housing community. Rodman was turned over to the Republic of Panama on March 11th, 1999. Farfan is our first place to look at in Rodman. The U.S. Naval radio station Farfan was constructed on an 820-acre reservation in 1941-1942. Between 1947 and 1948, there were 78 units of family housing built on part of the reservation property. And it was at that point made an annex of Naval Station Rodman. And this is the area in here, the old Farfan housing project. I was a reporter on this, and throughout the study, we have seen people that have reported that housing areas that backed up to jungle and so forth had herbicides sprayed in the backyard and so forth. So that, along with the fact that this area was also mentioned in a study done in 1976, and it was Pesticide Monitoring Special Study number 44-0102-77. And based on that and the location of this housing area, I decided should be included within our testing areas. And if we take, before we go to attachments, let me back out some and show you where the housing area is that we're looking at. In perspective, this is the Rodman Pier area and so forth. Okay, and Rodman also covered quite a bit of land going back in this direction. So if we come in a little more, I'm going to go to the attachments. On our 1976 low resolution view, we're right in this area here. And as you can see, it was kept pretty well clear in and around the housing. And on Canal Zone map fragment, the housing area is over here. The back end of it runs off the map a little bit. And again, the piers and so forth are up here. And this is an old photo of the housing area. And it was in a pamphlet talking about the legacy of the Panama Canal Zone. And this particular photo was taken by Graves and Klein Architects, but the date is unknown. The next area is the old Arraijan Tank Farm. And this was also considered part of Naval Station Rodman. And this was reported by two individuals, Jeff Dixon and Joe Lothink. And Joe said that he worked at a Howard Air Force Base control tower transmitter receiver site that was within the tank farm here. And he said they were always doing all kinds of weed control in this area. The tank farm was built during the Second World War, and it was the Pacific side terminus of the naval pipeline that ran across the isthmus, with the Atlantic side being at Gatun Tank Farm, which we talked about in one of the other videos in the series. And if I pull out further here to give you the bearings and so forth, here's the tank farm on the current view, which is still cleared. And here is the old Rodman Naval Station. Looking at our attachments, we can see, even though we have clouds here, we can still see in the 1969 low resolution view that that area where the tank farm is located was kept clear. The next area for Rodman is located up in this area. And this whole, let me back out a little more. This whole area in here was a former ordnance storage area, ammo dumps. And as we've seen across the series and so forth, most of the ammo dump areas were kept pretty clear of vegetation. And this is a current view, but you can still see that, many of the areas are still cleared out. There are some that appear to be in use for other purposes at this time. So I was the reporter, and if we look at our 1969 low resolution view, you can see that the area we're looking at extends all through this area. And even though, we've got a less detailed view, you can see that it was kept clear.
I'd like to thank veteran Richard Wyman for putting together all of this information on possible places to test in the Panama Canal Zone. I'd like you to all come over to the Military Veterans Advocacy and join with us today. We are further than we have ever been before. We have a rulemaking request that's been granted by the VA Secretary. We have a HR 5026 bill for Panama introduced into the Congress, and we could not have done that without the Military Veterans Advocacy and the leadership of Commander John Wells. There's also a ton of information under the Veterans of Panama Canal that we have submitted to the VA Secretary, who granted our request. So this information might be able to help you in your claims. And if you need help with an attorney, if you're at the appeals level, use our contact button and contact our administrative staff, and they can guide you for help.